Like most New Zealanders with their own primetime TV show, I spend most of my days in and out of airports and I relish every moment of it. But some people, like my best friend Aaron, don't have the smoothest transits. So Aaron, obviously the question I've got for you is, what is your issue?
My issue is with Jetstar's scales. Where scales are reading wrong and they're overcharging people.
Aaron booked a Jetstar flight from Wellington to Auckland with a carry-on allowance of 7 kilos, which he confirmed at the check-in scale.
The first weight was 5.44 kilos.
To be extra safe, he re-weighed it in the boarding lounge.
Thought, oh, I might chuck my bags on those scales and just recheck them, and it come up at 6.18.
So well under 7.
Well under 7,
Yep.
and then they were rechecking people's bags before we boarded, and it threw us over the 7 kilo margin. It was 7.5 kilos.
I mean, that's a pretty big difference.
Yeah, it's a massive difference.
Yeah, that's a kilo.
Yeah.
For the extra kilo, Aaron was stung with a $65 fee.
And I said, no, I'm not paying for this because I know my bag's under. And I said, I've got photographic evidence of all these scales that are reading different. And she said she'll go and get her supervisor.
Yeah.
The supervisor turns up and hands me the FPOS machine. I started arguing with him and my wife intervened and just paid for it. I mean, Aaron being Aaron, I don't back down to anything if I know I'm right.
Yeah, it's like Karen being Karen. I don't back down either. I say, where's your manager? What would you say if I told you that my best friend Lauren actually had the exact same thing happen a month or two ago?
Wouldn't surprise me.
4 months after Aaron, Lauren found herself at the same airport, on the same airline, with the same scales.
We arrived at the airport and I said, oh, let's quickly weigh on the Jetstar scale.
Yes.
The weight was just on 7 kilos. Got into the boarding lounge and again, I was like, well, just weigh one more time. From memory, it was the same weight, so we knew we were okay.
And once again, staff arrived with the portable scales.
I put my bag on the scale. It rolled off.
So it rolled off what should have been a flat scale.
Correct.
Right.
And it weighed 8.06 kilos. She said that I had to pay the $65 and I sort of said, well, no, that ain't happening. But Karen, we were so confident we were within the 7.
You've weighed.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah.
While some crafty repacking helped Lauren get out of her fine, Aaron wasn't so lucky.
And I said, I've got photographic evidence. I will be sending an email to your head office, which I did, and I heard nothing.
I've reached out to Jetstar 3 times, contacted the Commerce Commission, and I've raised the issue with the Civil Aviation Authority in New Zealand.
But with no success so far.
Correct.
This company's getting away with scales that are not calibrated and they're reading the wrong weights and they're just charging people money that they shouldn't be.
What's the weight on Jetstar's shoulders for doing all this ripping off? I mean, it depends which pair of scales you use to measure that, I guess.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right.
So, Lauren, what would you like me to do about it?
For me, it's about principle and it's about acknowledgement.
I mean, I want money back because I paid for something that I shouldn't have.
And actually, how long has this been going on for and how much has Jetstar made with dodgy scales?
When you think about these airports, how many people go through those airports a day?
Thousands. About 15,000 people pass through Wellington Airport each day, and often I'm one of them. If Jetstar's problem is plaguing even a fraction of those passengers, I need to chuck my weight behind it and figure out what's going on. So, who's in charge of making sure the scales follow the rules? I can't wait to tell you the answer when we go behind the issue. It's MB! Sorry, I just was expecting a round of applause there for that. But, you know, you're right. The answer is actually incredibly boring. No offence to people working for MB, obviously. The catchily named Ministry of Business, Innovation and Employment's Trading Standards team is in charge of weighing instruments. And if a scale is used to charge passengers, they are subject to a very exciting law called the Weights and Measures Act. So, at an airport, this means the courtesy scales in the terminal don't need to be verified because they aren't used to get money from you. But any scales that charge you for luggage, like Jetstar's portable ones, must follow the official rules. Every scale has to be verified and get a cute little official seal by an official verifier. In addition to compulsory verification, businesses can choose to get a certificate of accuracy to show they've been calibrated correctly, which is valid for 12 months, but they aren't mandatory after the initial verification. And now, a slightly exciting thing. MB officers can conduct random checks to ensure trade use scales are up to standard. Or they can follow up on complaints about scales. And they have the ability to fine up to $30,000 for dodgy instruments. And one final rule, If a business has the reason to think their scales are no longer accurate, they should get them retested and re-verified immediately before using them again. Bom, bom, bom! I want to speak with someone who understands the airports and their scales. Who's in charge of all the airport scales? Is that you guys?
It'll be a little bit of a mix. So most of the scales at airports I'd expect these days will be run and managed by the airlines themselves.
Both times for Aaron and for Lauren, the bags that they had weighed in the terminal, which weighed under 7 kilos, all of a sudden weighed over 8.
Yeah.
What do you think they should do about that?
We would expect a bit of variation between scales. Wear and tear, just age, different models, all of those kinds of things. But I probably wouldn't have expected much more than, say, a few hundred grams or a bit of a marginal difference. We can't conclude whether there's a particular bad culprit in scale here, but we can certainly follow up and do a little bit of testing.
Maybe Billy can't conclude, but I want certainty. What do I need to take to Auckland? 7 kilos isn't much, but it's enough for all my travel essentials. Some light reading, something to pass the time, suitable footwear, and some baking essentials. Hygienish. To test my hypothesis that Jetstar's boarding scales are wrong, I first need to check that my bag is the right weight. Definitely 7 kilos? $7.05.
What's this all made of?
$7.06. Thank you. Thanks. 7 exactly. $7.04. Okay, so Dean, obviously, could I use your scales to see how huge my bag is?
You can, but you've got to put these on.
And 7.05. So 5 different scales gave me pretty much the same result. But what will I get at the airport? So this is the first scale that Aaron used. 7.08, close enough. 7.1. 6.9, but it's minus 0.2 without a bag, so 7.1. It's very confusing, all this weighing. And with that, we bid adieu to our camera operator. I've just got to go and get my bag weighed, so wish me luck. Here's the boarding lounge scale Aaron and Lauren used. 7.08 again.
If you've not had your carry-on baggages weighed and measured or
That's what I'm doing right now.
that is weighed and measured or
How do I turn the camera around? How do I flip it? Hi! So Jetstar wheels out 2 of their portable scales and we get... It's a bit wobbly. Sorry, thank you. 7.05. That's a pass once I take out 5 grams. But while my scales were correct, I heard some commotion from passengers using the scale next to me.
Our bags, we got them to 6.9 outside, and then when we came to the Jetstar, it was apparently 8 point something.
Is that the same as your bag?
Yeah.
So 2 bags and 6 point something, all of a sudden 8.5. So Lauren, Aaron and Kev and Sarah all say Jetstar's portable scales are wrong, but they were well behaved for me. Sarah and Kev used a different set of scales to me, and it's possible Lauren and Aaron did too. Lauren asked to see the scales calibration records, but Jetstar wouldn't release them. And Aaron's heard nothing back from his complaint. So why would some scales be reading correctly and others incorrectly? This issue is beyond my weight class, so I need some help from the experts. Luckily for me, they're all inside this building. In this room are the people responsible for creating, calibrating and maintaining scales throughout Aotearoa.
So a scale should be calibrated annually.
I would say probably once a quarter, every 3 months. They really need to be at least double checked.
What we would recommend is if you're using it daily, we'd recommend you check it daily and go, I know my scale has not gone out since it has been calibrated.
What kind of thing can throw scales off?
Largely misuse,
Not being on zero to start with,
temperature variation.
moving around.
You might get bags dropped on it.
If you calibrate something in Auckland and then put it in Invercargill, it's actually out of calibration by the time it gets there because of gravity.
Right. When they bring out those mobile ones, the one that I went to put my suitcase on, it rolled off because it's on an angle. That's not good, is it?
Once you put wheels on something and you roll it to a different level, it may rock around, and then in theory, is it trade certified at that point?
Say no.
No.
Thank you, Stuart. Very informative. Before I stow away this investigation in the overhead compartment, there's one last person I need to speak with. We've had people saying they've weighed their bags down here, they've gone up and all of a sudden it's different. I mean, how could that be true?
Obviously, the majority of our customers will be self-weighing here at the scales, and unfortunately we can't monitor everyone who is self-weighing. All we can do is offer a promise that our scales are accurate and they are regularly checked and maintained.
So the scales in question, sadly for me, are in Wellington. Can you assure me that all of the scales across the country are in fact the same?
We actually employ a contract company that service, maintain and calibrate our baggage scales throughout the country every year. We also have a ground team that specifically checks the scales every day pre-flight or pre-use to make sure things are working as they should.
These people have said, you know, without a shadow of a doubt, their bags were different. They got charged $65 for excess baggage. I mean, what could they have done about that in the moment?
What I would say to customers is perhaps give yourself a little bit of wriggle room before you leave home. Make sure you've got that little bit of space in your baggage just to give yourself the fairest chance. And we do stand by the integrity of our scales.
Now, the measurement of truth. One last weigh-in. One last thing though, Simon, like this is my bag. If you don't mind, just because you've got experience, could you just tell me, lift this up and tell me how heavy you think it is?
Oh, I'd say that's definitely under or just on 7, probably less. Oh, what do I know? So you're over by 4. You shouldn't get on the plane without actually paying extra for it, Karen, to be honest.
I can take some things out, hang on.
You're going to have to make some decisions, Karen.
What, I could take this out?
Oh, what's that there, Karen?
Just baking.
And now, what do you reckon about the weight on that?
400.
400. Let's lose one of those.
Okay, thank you
That's
so
an
much.
absolute pleasure.
Great, I'll travel happily now.
Thank you. Looking forward to welcoming you on board. Oh, yeah, I'll take those home for dinner.
Right.
Cheers,
Thank
Karen.
you so much. See ya.